So Tanya got all sorts of goodies in. Well, actually, some of this stuff you guys ordered, and then, but then we got a bunch of stuff from Trick Chassis. So they were super cool. We bought some of the wrong stuff, and we had to send it back, and they were able to get the new stuff that we ordered and the replacement stuff back to us at the same time. So, oh yeah, there you go. Free plug. So we got front shocks and springs, so the coilover setup for the front spindles, everything for the steering components, and now front upper and lower control arms. And then hopefully enough hardware. I think we'll be missing hardware to put like the shocks actually to the brackets. I don't think they gave us stuff for that. The hardware for those. Oh, they did. I didn't even see those. I thought there wasn't one last time. Okay. So good on the front. But then what about the back? I don't think we have any hardware for the back. You do? Oh, okay. Well, never mind. We got everything apparently.
What? Yeah, the lowers are already on the axle. We just have to, or on the rear end, we just have to bolt those on. And then the upper we just have to weld that bar in. But we needed alignment where we're putting that bar.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, and these shocks were almost exactly what I would need for the truck. So like lengthwise, I think the shorter ones that we were talking about, how they had an option of like how low your car is. I think the lower option will be short enough to work in the truck. Now that Tanya is like best friends with the guy at Trick Chassis, we'll probably give him a call and see if they can measure the shock length for the truck. We might put some better shocks in the front of the truck to help with wheelies, because apparently we got a problem again. The other thing that we're gonna be doing while we're here is Nick's gonna weld us a bung in this pan so that we can replace the shattered one in Liam. So a little bit of love for everybody today. Yeah, those things are beefy, huh?
Yeah.
I think, well, bigger tube than what I have in the truck, I think. Or no, it's probably about the same size. All right, well, we're gonna get this thing unbolted, get all the new stuff back on, and I guess mess around with it. We got a Mustang to tune. Actually, let me go show you that real quick. All right, so the other thing that we got going on today is tuning this Mustang. So another recent build from the guys over here at PTS Fab, as usual, doing lovely stuff. But yeah, I'll talk to him a little bit later. I'm not too sure what the power goal is and what the purpose is. I don't know if it's a street thing, if it's a track thing. I think it's supposed to be just kind of like a driver. So this one's on a Terminator X ECU. It has transmission, so it's Terminator X Max. So it has transmission control, and we're gonna be doing boost through it, fuel and timing tuning, obviously, and all that stuff. We don't do, I don't do that many of the Terminator series, just because all of the other customers that Nick has most of the time, they either have an HP or a Dominator. But Terminator X ECU really doesn't limit you on a whole lot of things. Like you have, fewer advanced tables. So usually I get pretty liberal with the use of advanced tables for, different little features and things like that. So I'll have to be a little bit more cognizant of how many tables we have to use. But it really should be able to do everything that we do on those other cars. You really have to get pretty crazy with it in order to start seeing a need for a Dominator or even an HP, really, if you're not going to be doing methanol. I mean, to me, that's kind of the biggest difference between the two, is that you can't use methanol beyond a certain air fuel, which with these turbo cars will always be beyond that air fuel target, because it doesn't have the NTK sensor. The Terminator X ECUs can't use the NTK sensor. So unfortunately, we're stuck with the Bosch, and it doesn't read low enough to use methanol for the air fuel ratios that we normally like to use for higher horsepower turbo cars. So this one's the 85, so we'll be fine with it. It has the same number of inputs and outputs as an HP. Plus, if he wants to monitor more things in the future, he can just use the Holley input-output module. So to tie into it and have 8 more inputs and 8 more outputs. Yeah, it should work really well. It's pretty basic though. We're not gonna be doing a crazy number of things that will need a whole bunch of, random sensors and inputs and outputs. So yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Hopefully be able to put it on the dyno, do some power if it reads for us, and get it sorted out. Mechanical montage. Or actually, wait, before I do regular montage stuff, I like this. I like this a lot. Travel limiter built in.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, did I f it up?
Yeah, you did.
right, guys, thanks for watching. I know it was kind of a short one, but we ran into a lot of problems with the Mustang once we got it onto the dyno, so I didn't quite want to use that footage just yet. When we actually get the problem solved and get it back on the dyno and do some, you know, finalizing on it, make some good power, then I'll post that one up. So I didn't want to go through the issues that we were having and then not have any resolution. So we ran into a couple ignition related issues. We're going to try to solve them and then get it back on there, and we'll talk about you know, what we did and why. But yeah, I mean, really good stuff on the El Camino. Really excited. A lot of stuff is coming together. We should be able to put it back on the ground here pretty soon and get it home probably in a couple of weeks. So Nick and the guys still have a lot to do. Dustin's been hammering out a lot of the cage stuff now. He's got to take apart a lot of bars so that he can actually weld them all the way back in. So a lot of stuff is going in permanent now, and you know, we'll get to see the final cage product here soon. The rear end can finally go in there, and we can finalize that completely. In the front, we're probably going to put some spacer bars in there so that we can set it to ride height, take some pictures, get it home, and then we'll put the actual suspension in there once we're ready to put the motor in there, because if we put the actual coilovers in the front right now, it's going to sit super high because there's not a motor in it. So to get the idea of what ride height is going to be, one, for taking a couple of other measurements when it comes to like where the car is going to sit and where the engine is going to sit, so that we can make the motor plates, put the engine center line where we actually want it, but also so that we can take some neat pictures. I'm gonna get back to work on Liam right now and hopefully check the motor here. That'll be in the next video where we start getting this thing back up and going. We did find a donor car, so we'll do some video on that, figure out whether we're just gonna steal the parts from it and then scrap it, or maybe do some other project, like maybe a quick V8 swap and a giveaway sort of thing. But I don't know, that's still up in the air. We'll see how it goes, but appreciate you guys watching, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.